I'm Judy Kofit, and I'm a member of Hagerstown Community College Alumni Association, and I'm one of 2 vice presidents of social activities for our group. The HCC Alumni Association is pleased today to bring you a special program, the 3rd of a series to help keep you connected with the college during the COVID crisis, when we don't meet so easily in person. Today we are excited to showcase a presentation by Joan Bowers, who's a financial planner and owner of Antietam Wealth Management. Joan is also a graduate of Hagerstown Community College. Joan will be talking about financial planning. Now let's turn it over to Joan.
Hi, my name is Joan Bowers. I'm with Antietam Wealth Management in Hagerstown. The college asked me to talk about financial planning, and I said, what part of financial planning? Because it has so many aspects. So I thought I would do an overall view of what is financial planning, because most people, they're afraid to go to a financial planner because they have no idea what that really means. It kind of starts with the basics. How about a budget? How much do you spend? How much do you bring in? What are your outflows every month? What are needs? What are wants? Where do you want to go with your money? If you don't have a plan, you're never going to get there. I've always thought that financial planning was kind of like, it's a discipline. It's like brushing your teeth every day. You know, you have to save money to get to the next stop in life, whether it be buying a house, going to college, putting your children through school, retirement, and that's down the road. So, you know, having a baby costs a lot of money. People forget about that. So I think, you know, everybody is a little bit different when it comes to financial planning. So if I'm talking to a 20-year-old, they're like, how am I going to pay off my college debt? If I'm talking to a 40-year-old, how am I going to get my kids through school? And if I'm talking to a 50-year-old, they're like, oh my gosh, in a couple years I want to retire, and I never thought about it before. I met a man just yesterday, and he's 62, and he said it just slapped him in his face the other day because he's 62 and he wants to retire in 3 years and never really thought about it before. What does that look like? Where am I going to get my income from? How am I going to live in poverty, or I'm going to have more than enough? And I said, well, have you ever talked to a financial planner? He said, no. Well, you need to do it before you're 62, that's for sure. You need to start when you're young. It can start with $25 a month. It just means that you're preparing for the future. That's what financial planning is. It's nothing more than a discipline. I'm preparing for the next step in life. What is the next step? Depends how old you are. Where do you want to be? Maybe you're retired and you're like, uh-oh, what happens now? I have more than I need. What's going to happen to my money? Well, that's the question that you have to answer. That's called estate planning. That's when you work with a financial planner to make sure that your money is going to pass as tax efficiently as possible to the next generation. Maybe it's going to go tax-free to your charity. Maybe it's the college. Maybe you'd like to leave money to a legacy fund to fund something that you're passionate about here at the college. Maybe it's a scholarship for technology. Maybe it's somebody to go be able to play basketball. Maybe it's for a young mother that wouldn't have the opportunity to go to nursing school because she couldn't afford it. Whatever your passion is, I think that's what estate money is about. I think it's about finding a passion. Money is really emotional, and I think that's what people forget. Because what drives me may not drive you, and I think it's really important to find somebody that takes a holistic approach that understands you. To be honest with you, I studied social work and psychology and business and finance. I think I use my social work background more than I do my financial, because money is emotional. Because we all had something happen in our life, whether it be good or bad, and it relates to how we think about money, how much we feel comfortable with having in our checking account. If it goes under a spot, we like literally have a panic attack. Or maybe we don't really care about money and we run it down to the last penny. Well, that's usually not the best way to go. So it's finding somebody that understands you and can really tune into your needs, your wants, your desires, and can get you where you want to go. And the road may not always be smooth. I mean, there's a lot of bumps in the financial journey, because if you put your money in the stock market goes up and down daily. I mean, daily, by the second, to be honest with you. So it's about spreading your money out. It's about making sure that you're diversified in different asset classes, making sure that you understand what your need is. Maybe you need dividends because you need a paycheck every month. Maybe you just want your snowball to grow, so maybe you want to look at a growth investment. You know, what is your passion? I mean, if you're young and you have a lot of time and this is money you don't plan on touching, then you can look at something that's new and innovative, something in technology. I mean, I get calls every day about Bitcoin. It's not regulated. I don't suggest it at this point because I like the tried and the true. I like something that I feel has a future and that the government at least regulates the rules with it. So I'm not a big fan of Bitcoin right now. I know a lot of people that are making money in Bitcoin, but it's not something that we do as financial planners because it's not regulated. So I think you have to understand what you're buying, what the investment is, what the purpose is, what the term of the investment is it a short-term investment or a long-term investment, and what your ultimate goal is. Maybe you want to build, the dream house at the beach. Maybe you want to travel the world. Maybe your passion is to leave a great legacy to your children. Maybe you want to set up a trust so that your children will get fed when you're gone. If you're like handing money out now and you're like, uh-oh, they would blow through it. Then you want to look at maybe a trust that pays out at certain times of the year in certain ways. I mean, everything is custom done. And if you're working with somebody that just puts it in a package and says, here you go, they're not doing you a service. That's a big no-no in my opinion because everybody is different. I think the most important thing to remember is it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. I tell everybody it's like going on a big trip. How many of you taken a trip that you don't have a roadmap? And that usually doesn't work out real good because you take the wrong turn, the wrong here, it takes a longer time to get there. But if you have a plan, it doesn't mean that you're not going to take a wrong turn or you're not going to have a layover if you're flying on planes. It just may take a little longer to get there because there are going to be things that happen. The market is going to go down. 1929 to today. If you put pins on an Epson chart, you're going to find that there's 7 up years, 3 down years. Problem is, we don't know when the down years are coming. And are they going to be back to back? And how much is it going to hurt you financially? That's why diversification is really important. So, they said talk about financial planning. There's so many avenues. We could talk about annuities. We could talk about mutual funds. We could talk about alternative investment. We could talk about unit trust. I mean, we could talk about stocks. We could talk about blue chips, microchips. There's 100 things we could talk about, but really we need to talk about what is the plan and what is your passion and what drives you personally, because I think investing should be something that is driven through you. What do you love? What is your passion? My father's passion was utilities. And the reason being, he climbed telephone poles for 49 years. So he just believed that utilities were where it was at. We're always going to be using technology when it comes to phones. So he loved phone companies. He loved gas because we're always going to put gas in our car or pipe it into our house for heating. He liked oil. A lot of people still use oil. And he absolutely loved electricity because every home operates on electricity. And we have to get it from somewhere. So utilities are like kind of a safe bet. So as an older gentleman, he just wanted his money always to be safe, and they lived off the dividends. So I really believe that it is very personal. And if you have an investment advisor that doesn't know you, doesn't know your name, doesn't know about your grandkids, doesn't know about your cat, your dog, whatever your passion is. I mean, I have people that want to leave money to the Humane Society. And I'll say, well, let's be a little bit more specific about that, because the Humane Society sometimes doesn't have the opportunity to be so humane. You know what I mean? You don't want to euthanize the animals. Do you want to feed them? Be specific. What is your passion? I want to run, an adoption day every Saturday with my money. I want to do outreach for feral cats. So I think it's really important. Financial planning is about passion. It's about bringing your likes, needs, wants, and desires to fruition on paper when it comes to finances. So, that's really general. And they said, talk about what your passion is. Well, my passion is people. And I think if you love people and you work in money, you can help them meet their goals. So really, it's about planning for your future. And what does your future look like? Everybody has a different journey. So make sure that your financial planner is working to create your journey in life. So it's pretty general. If you have any questions, I'd love the opportunity to sit down and talk to you about your plan, your future, your hope, your desire, and painting your perfect picture.
Joan, we really appreciate your time in sharing your insight and expertise on this topic with us, and for being part of this video series. Please be sure to visit the Hagerstown Community College website and click Donors, Alumni and Friends, and then choose the Alumni page to scroll down and see all of our video presentations to date. I want to thank you for watching this special presentation by HCC Alumni Association. And remember, if you have suggestions or questions about future videos, get in contact with the Alumni office at 240-500-2346. We would love to hear your ideas.